Hello, today I'm joined by Lee Endean, Coastal Group's latest member to the sales and support team. Lee has worked within the joinery business for many years, and he now joins Coastal Group to share his knowledge and skill set with our customers. So, welcome, Lee. Nice to meet you. So can you tell us a bit about your background first of all?
Yeah.
You've been in joinery.
Yeah, so I started as an apprentice joiner back in 1989, qualified as a bench joiner in 93, and then unfortunately at the latter part of 93 I become ill with a thing called Kienbock's disease, and my boss at the time kindly let me carry on with the company as his assistant manager.
Right.
So I ended up as being in the office at the age of 20, I think it was. And from there, from the 10 years I was there, I ended up as being general manager.
Right.
And then from that, then my wife became ill with Crohn's disease, and running as a manager or running of a business, it is quite difficult. And when she became poorly, it was too much for myself, so I actually left my position within the company to look after my wife. And that was for about 12 months. And then in 2004, I was approached by a company called Marnick, and they wanted to get together to start up a business. We bought a company called Woodstock in Falmouth in 2005, and alongside that we ran a bespoke joinery company. And this year I have ended up stopping that business myself, because running businesses today is very difficult, I found, and very stressful. So I've changed my life. And I just want to now just carry on with the industry and offer my experience with the industry with Coastal of my knowledge.
So how long did you have the business for?
18 years.
And what were you doing in that? You were running the business?
Yeah, so I've ran several businesses, to be honest with you. So we bought the Woodstock business in 2005.
What do they
So
do?
Woodstock was a traditional timber and sheet supplier of all the exotic sort of hardwoods and stuff like that, really. Probably the only one in the county at the time, to be honest with you, back then. Yeah, the business is probably about 40 years old, I would say now, to be honest. And alongside that, as things generically grow, there was an online business that we still have today, and the joinery still exists today. It's just myself. I've taken myself away from all that. That's all. Too much pressure.
Yeah, so were you making stuff when you were actually in the joinery side, not necessarily the
What, myself?
Timber side? Yeah.
No. So unfortunately with my illness, it become, even though I was a qualified bench joiner, I was always in the office because I wasn't able to work with my hands no more. So,
but you had a team who were doing stuff?
yeah,
and
I
you
employed
advised them?
probably about 46 people, something like that. Yeah.
And what sort of projects were they working on?
Anything really. So like Truro Cathedral, I've done stuff all over the country, in London. Not a lover of that work, mostly down here. A lot of listed buildings. So worked on Truro Cathedral. I've done the acoustic sliding panels in the main bell tower.
Wow.
That, yeah, and I've been quite fortunate to see many of old listed buildings and many big manor houses.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
Yeah.
And also just to the small repairs of sashes, as to the joinery environment, so replacement of a little window to major projects of £250,000 of joinery,
Wow. And what were your favourites? Have you got any standouts that you remember?
I would say, to be honest, the most exciting one I've done was probably Truro Cathedral. When I had done my initial sketch scheme, which was quite funny, to the cathedral, and then it progressed from there. The CAD drawings got taken on over, and then my drawings, my hand drawings, got superseded. But I think it was just a bit upsetting because the CAD drawing went in the archive. Anyway,
right.
We'd done some, when I'd done an initial survey at the cathedral, all the bells in this country are stored upright.
Right.
And I went up there with two other guys, and one guy said, whatever you do, don't touch any ropes or any wood.
Right.
So you go up there, you do the survey, and you said I think there was 12 bells up there, and the first bell you walked past was 3 ton, and they call that bell number 1, I think.
Wow.
And you literally have, if the bell releases when you're up there, you have to the edge of the bell and the walls 8 inches. You will be squashed. So I'm walking up there on my pad, just doing the survey, like it's shaking.
Touch nothing.
Oh, shaking, like walking on about that sort of width, sort of 20 mil width steel on edge, like that, walking along. And next, you walk up a vertical ladder that has no cage, no protection, about 30 feet up in the air. So now you're above, you walk up on a walkway above, looking away all these bells. Wow. So that was exciting.
And that was your favourite?
Yeah, that was. But it's it's exciting because no one already goes to see those sort of things.
It's bits that other people don't get to see.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I suppose
from
the other side of that, working for like the Duchy of Cornwall and the Isles of Scilly, bouncing on the bed and going for a wee in the toilet and stuff like that. So I've done done a great variation of stuff. So.
Yeah. So what made you step away from that then and come to Coastal?
I'll be perfectly honest, I've been a customer of Coastal from the very beginning. So with Anthony and Lauren, from the very start, I think it was 2004, as when I started leaving my original position as general manager at Devon Joinery. It was using those for a long time. I continued using Coastal. And the reason why I continued using Coastal was, I think it was because of the trust and the service that it provided. And I think what brought me along, obviously with Coastal being the same industry that I've provided for the last few years, is again that trust and that service. And that's what I'm all about, is that trust and that service. And my knowledge, I didn't want to lose that knowledge. I want people to, use me for that knowledge. And I believe this company was able to do that for me. And I'm, just greatly to be on board and, for customers to use my knowledge along the way of the joinery,
So how might your knowledge help a customer now? So tell us maybe about your day, what might happen in your current role. What do you do here?
Yeah, so I can take any calls from if they're a new joiner that's just taken on a new project, for instance, and let's just take a sliding sash window, for instance. They may be new to the industry, and I'll be able to help them along to what products to use, etc. within that.
Yeah, so sort of advising them of what sort of things they could use.
Yeah.
What about the sort of tech support side? Have you had technical questions as well? Is that something?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So it's for me, of like having over 30 years experience in the joinery trade, I can offer that knowledge, a quite wide knowledge as well for the I would say, not the novice sort of new customers and the joiners as such, but the people who are not understanding new products. So with the training that we got here at Coastal and I'll go through, which is fantastic, I can see myself helping those individuals along with their projects.
Yeah, brilliant. So you still get to use the knowledge that you gained overall.
And that's my point of, I didn't want to go and work somewhere else, for instance, that I wasn't able to continue on with my knowledge and release that knowledge, because I just think it's a waste of 30 odd years otherwise.
Yeah, and obviously the industry is struggling to keep sort of qualified people. And
I'll be perfectly honest with you, business-wise, that's why it's the people why I did sort of stop, to be fair.
Yeah, it's one of the challenges.
This is a massive challenge, and I worked damn hard to do it,
Yeah.
I still have the company. It's just that it's very difficult to run a business these days. You've got to be more than just run the business. You've got to be a bank manager, you've got to be a solicitor, you've got to be HR, you've got to be absolutely everything.
Yeah.
Now, I'm old school, and I feel that other people, the younger generation, take that on. I just want to do a job at the end of the day.
Yeah, and that's where obviously you can use that that experience and help people who are running their own joinery companies with your experience.
Yeah, you've got it.
So how's it going? You enjoying
Brilliant, loving it. Yeah, no, seriously, loving it. Because it's a change of life for me, to be honest with you. And that was my choice.
Yeah.
It's a change of life. that I wanted to choose.
Yeah.
You know, I would say, I think, well, hopefully my wife would agree with me, that I'm a changed person because, you know, I said I've employed, I think at tops of 46. I own other businesses and I own commercial property as well. But I've just taken myself away from that completely. So I'm a much happier person, I believe.
Chilled.
Yes, yeah, very much so. Yeah, you lose a lot of control, but again, that's my choice. That's what I want.
Yeah. That's brilliant. So, what about outside of work? What sort of things do you get up to when you're not?
I'm a true Cornishman, as you can probably tell.
Yeah.
Even though my surname may go back to being French, I'm not sure, but I don't like to talk about it.
We'll focus on the Cornish.
Yeah, no, so I like fly fishing. I've been fishing since probably the age of 7.
Right.
Yeah, that's my sort of main hobby.
So, where do you go?
So mainly the lakes and stuff like that locally. So it could be like Roadford and Devon or Stillion's Lake or something like that, you know.
Nice.
And then I like also eating out with some good friends of ours with the wife. And I do like coastal walks too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Any favourites?
well, coastal walks.
Yeah.
Yeah, sort of like from kind of what's it called? Kind of Sands and what have you down that way, and then down towards Cadgwith. And all that. It's quite rustic down that way, to be honest with you.
Beautiful.
Yeah, no, it is. And then down towards Land's End, you got like Sennan and all was quite nice. And all that. Yeah, so I do like it. Yeah. And obviously we got a little dog as well. So
have you?
We got a lockdown dog.
Oh, have you? And lockdown dog is still enjoying walks.
Yeah.
He gets us out, doesn't he? When we have a dog, he gets you out.
Yeah, absolutely.
And finally, is there anything that people don't know about you? Any little
You know what?
quirks?
I honestly don't know. Because I'm quite an open person anyway. I don't do any Facebook. I don't do any social media stuff.
Right.
I'm saying private person. I wouldn't say that. But I don't, you know, I'm a different era of today.
Yeah.
I suppose a lot of people don't know I'm in the 50s club now, I suppose. That's probably that's probably about it, to be honest with you, because I don't keep any secrets or nothing.
Yeah. Cool, okay. And we've talked about what you're going to do for the company, how it's going to change. So you're just looking forward to cracking on?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely loving it too, you know, because it's a different world for me. So
Cool.
I can go home and almost forget about things.
Yeah, switch off.
Yeah.
Nice.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, brilliant. We're really excited to have you on board, Lee.
Yeah,
Thank you very
looking
much
forward to it. Yeah.
for sitting and having a chat with us.
Yeah,
Cool.
brilliant.
Thanks
Thank
very
you.
much.